Hello and welcome back to Joe. No, that's not what we do here. Let's try this again.
Joeman's Bizarre Crystals. Hello and welcome to the Crystal Men. We are a Steven Universe podcast. My name is Tom.
My name is Jim.
And today we are going to be talking about the episode The Test, is it called?
So episode 38 of season 1, The Test.
It is The Test, okay.
Steven takes a pregnancy test and you will never guess who the father is.
It's Rose Quartz. So going into this episode, I forgot about this episode for the longest time. I feel like I say that about every episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently this is a pretty important episode for Steven as a character. Once you get past kind of the cuter facade of it.
Yeah.
But it starts out, they're all playing in the house.
It's a rainy day.
Rainy day.
I like
love
that.
A good rainy
it's
day.
funny
Good
because
atmosphere.
that is like such a non-element of the story. It's almost just an excuse for them to be playing.
Just to be hanging out.
Yeah.
And it's cute that they just hang out with Steven. I always just enjoy moments like that where all the gems are just doing what Steven wanted to do. Like he wanted to play a board game with his family.
Yeah, so I do want to say, like, the end of this episode really starts to recontextualize a lot of things.
Yes. Yeah.
So I did put out a little thing before we did this episode, and one of our lovely commenters, Malevolence460, mentioned that we have to watch a video by this George guy.
Yes.
I did not watch the video. I watched like a minute of it, and I kind of got the gist. I didn't want to like spoil myself for the episode, but really, kind of with that idea of like, this is like a very pivotal moment for Steven. It's a big like growing up moment.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get into the end of the episode when he realizes everything, but
it makes this little beginning scene where they're hanging out with him feel a little less cute, because what happens in the scene, Steven wins the game. They're playing Kitchen Calamity, which
that is true.
Is there really like an analogous game that you can think of to this type of board game that they're playing? I have to say it's a pretty novel
I kind of want to play it.
game.
I like the blender. I like the dice system.
Yeah, so there's a kind of a thing at this time. I'm reminded of the Parks and Recreation had the Cones of Dunshire.
It's all about the cones.
So there's kind of a lot of jokes about like, haha, board games that are so incredibly complicated are impenetrable, haha, and it's true. It's a very like real life observation, but
I love board games.
Me too.
And I one of my favorite things to do is when I get a new board game, just devouring the rule book. I don't know why. I'm like, I have to be the rule master. I am the one who explains.
We need more people like you in the world, because most of the time you set the game up and then no one has any idea what they're doing.
It needs a procedural system, Jimmy, or else nobody can have fun. We have to have fun the right way, the logical way.
It is true. I remember playing Scythe one time and having absolutely no idea what was going on for about half the game.
Yeah. I mean, I will say a lot of board games nowadays get way too complex. Remember when you had us play the snake game?
Oh, Lesbian Snakes, yes.
Lesbian Snakes. That was fun.
That was a great one.
I still don't understand how you won.
No, it's no winning. It's just an RP game where you get to get cozy in the den. I think it's called a cozy den, but also it's called Lesbian Snakes. Shout out to whoever wrote that. I forget. But I was just at the PAX convention, PAX Unplugged in Philly, where it's all board game convention. And you know what? The most fun games that I played there were the simplest ones. There's just really some simple tile games you can play.
I think in a setting like that where you don't have a lot of time to like master this. Yeah, like a simple game that you can pick up and learn to play and be done in like less than 30 minutes. A lot of fun.
But so back to this episode, they're playing this.
Yes, this is not a board game podcast.
They're playing this incredibly complicated board game.
The gems have no clue how to actually play.
Yeah, they're all very confused.
I do resonate with Pearl a little bit on this one, trying to understand the rules.
She is, yeah. There's also, I really relate to Steven here, where like, especially with video games, I remember I'd play video games with like my aunts and uncles, and I would just like, it would just be the time for me to stomp. I just get to like stomp hard in like a fighting game or whatever. And those are very fun moments, but at the end of the day,
not actually, you're playing against no one.
Yeah,
really.
You're playing against no one. And that's what's happening here. Steven is playing against no one, and then he gets an epic win, whatever, but everyone is like happy for him and all.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it as kind of a bookends, but I thought it was more so just a bit for them to do. But yeah, I mean, in the greater context, he's just, gliding through life.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any
Minimal
actual
resistance.
struggle yet.
They're sort of humoring him in like a way. We've known the Gems humor Steven a lot, but they're humoring him in a way that you could almost say is like toxic.
Well, it's unhealthy because he does need to mature.
Yeah.
And part of growing up is, having that resistance, having that pushback and conflict that you have to overcome. Otherwise, you're just getting babied your entire life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they're incidentally doing because they don't know how to take care of him or treat him, they can't treat him like a gem, and they have no idea how to treat a human.
Yeah, and even more so, he's like this special third thing.
Yeah.
But so
anyway, he goes into the board game cabinet because they finished the game, and he finds what is it called?
So
it's the totem for.
It was for the sea prism, and it's funny because I don't think we actually ever got to see it.
Yeah, because he didn't have
in the episode. Because back all the way in Cheeseburger Backpack. Oh, sorry, it was the Moon Goddess statue. And it was he forgot to bring it to the Lunar Sea Spire. So that was, I think, episode 3. So we're in a pretty deep. Not just like a sort of one-off. This is like a very specific reference to past events and that we've seen. And we've talked a lot about how Steven has gotten he's like evolved kind of quick. And
well, it's crazy. Again, I kind of thought an episode like this would be in a latter season, but this is still season 1, and he's gone from just not giving a shit in Cheeseburger Backpack, just excited but kind of dumb, to once he realized that this is where he left it. He apologized to the gems. He felt bad that he destroyed priceless gem architecture.
Yeah.
Seeing the greater consequences behind his actions as opposed to just ha ha ha, look at me, so quirky.
And something about Steven now is that I feel, at least from what we've seen, he's rarely making
mistakes,
real big mistakes. If he makes a mistake, it's from inexperience, or he's not making careless mistakes. Like Cheeseburger Backpack, forgetting it was careless.
Yeah.
And he really feels the weight of that. He lost his whole thing. And then we have this thing where the gems are all trying to downplay it and say no, it wasn't a big deal. And then Pearl lets it slip that it was basically a test. And even worse, it was supposed to be easier than it actually was for him because apparently it was in a worse condition than they expected it.
Yeah.
So Steven couldn't even pass a basic test. And the way that they try and even this, they try and massage him. They'd be like,
it's okay. You still would have got a 75.
Yeah. That's not a failure. And it's they are going easy on him in a way that is not Peridot. They just saw their worst fear come alive.
Well, that's what's crazy. I mean, given the context that 2 episodes ago, it was
literally 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. Gems are trying to re-invade Earth. You think it would be all hands on freaking deck. But the fact that they're just
they're playing board games.
Yeah.
They're literally playing board games.
I can understand from on Steven's side, you don't want to freak him out necessarily, but the gems you would think would be just going crazy right now.
Yeah, and all Garnet did was put a Band-Aid on it essentially by smashing the transport. But so yeah, they're just kind of them not pushing Steven here is not helpful. And I mean, it's hard to not talk about the ending, but I really do. We'll get to it when we get to it. But I think it really does help understand where they're coming from. This is kind of one of those and am I the asshole? No assholes here.
Yeah.
Situation.
Yes, which I love that subreddit.
But it really does kind of feel like that. But we can shift the blame on characters as time progresses.
Sure.
So,
but anyway, Steven, he felt very bad that he failed his first test, and so he wanted them to give him a new one. And I mean, he really has come a long way in a short period of time already. He's starting to get a grip on some of the more basic powers. He's not really an offensive asset to the team yet, but he's developing and
he's gung-ho. He's look, I'm ready. Test me. I really like how because he does acknowledge look, I fucked up in the past. I was a kid.
Yeah, I want to prove myself that. I mean, I don't know how many months it's been since the first episode, but
probably 90.
90 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Good.
It's been at least one. It's been at least one, probably.
Yeah.
No, I think it's been a while. So
he's a little bit older,
yeah.
but I mean, like,
more hair on his chest.
Just the emotional maturity from him alone.
Yeah.
You know, like ignoring gem powers and ignoring that kind of stuff. Like, he has come a long way very quickly. I think the big episode that did that was with Lapis Lazuli.
Yeah.
And I think you really see a turning point after that when he kind of...
That's when he, like, stood up to Garnet and, like, directly disobeyed Garnet, which is, like, even the other gems were just like, oh, my God.
And then especially, like, the next episode where he took accountability and was focused the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like after that, we've really kind of seen him become more reliable to the gems. Mm-hmm. But all this to be said, the gems create a testing chamber for him in the house because apparently that's something that, you know...
It's one of those
temple
things,
can do.
It just feels like underutilized. Like whenever we tap into this, it's like, oh, what else could we be doing here?
So many capabilities.
Because it's the holodeck, right? Like you could just essentially do
effectively.
anything.
I mean, because like the stuff was real enough with what they created. I mean, Steven felt heat from the one room.
He did, yes. I was going to point that out, yeah.
You know, there's physical objects that he can interact with. So like, what could they create? But we'll never get it.
So we didn't say this, I really love this episode. There's something so like video gamey that ties...
I mean, it's literally a game developer. Like,
yeah, and that's why I love it. It's not just like, oh, this is a game reference. It's really like looking at it like a developer would. It's really funny. Once again, predates Breath of the Wild, but
yeah,
it feels very much like one of those like... Even the easy factor, I would say, feels just like a Breath of the Wild dungeon, like just way too easy.
Way too short, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy.
But so, yeah, like just kind of run through it because like the chambers aren't really that interesting.
No. Indiana Jones, first chamber, you know, boulder rolling, Steven has to jump.
I do love the big amethyst statue, though. It's kind of funny.
That is a classic amethyst touch. Very much enjoy the sounds, too.
The music and sound design is great.
Yeah, this episode in particular really shined with that.
It just helps push the story along, like even more so. It really gets you. I don't know. It really worked for me.
And it's kind of got that video game-esque sound effects for everything.
You get the little like chime when you win. Like so, when Steven gets to the end of the first chamber, I like this kind of scary moment where like the door of the chamber kind of explodes.
It was gonna explode. Yeah, like
the animation of it's like, really cool, and then it kind of explodes into these cute little balloons. But it has a cute little chime. Yeah, and Steven's afraid for a second, but.
Yeah. Second room, Pearl's room, literally a 4-note Simon's, or whatever that's called, that game.
Simon, yeah, it's called Simon.
It is Simon?
Yeah. Simon puzzle, yeah, where he has to step on the right notes, and he does, and then...
Classic video game as well.
A bunch of stairs appear, and I really love the little musical chime when he does the thing. It's like a classic.
You pointed that out in the episode.
Classic thing. And then, of course, like up the stairs, the real challenge are giant swinging axes.
Okay, and so here's my thing too, this episode. So the first room was a bit ambiguous. Like Steven jumps and it really doesn't look like he's gonna make it.
Yeah.
It's a very crappy jump, but he does manage to grab the little rope swing that he needs. This room, he's running away from the swinging pendulums and like pretty clearly would have gotten hit.
Yeah,
like,
there's a couple times
they,
like that.
They make a point to show him kind of sloppily running through it and not timing or doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So like he would have failed. I you know, like
he would have died. We'd be Steven bits on the floor.
You know, it's all well and good that he's pissed off later in the episode that the gems don't make it real, but they could have justified it by being like, we don't want to physically hurt you, and like he proved that they were right because he would have died. Like,
so
like he's still not good.
So he there are definitely, it does feel like he probably would have gotten sliced. Makes it to the third room. And yeah, this is like, it's very hot, but there's like sizzling sounds. And then once again, like, so it's kind of a little Mario-y. There's like pillars of fire that pop up and he has to run through them.
This is literally Ocarina of Time's fire dungeon for Adult Link.
Okay, you think so? Yeah.
There's a room in that dungeon that flames shoot up from the ground. Like,
oh, there you go.
You know, like those exact walls.
Yeah, I should remember that. But
also, fun fact about that. Sorry everybody, but in the original release of Ocarina of Time, that dungeon, they had to change the music it was Muslim chanting that they got in trouble for.
Yeah, that's really funny. It's there's a really funny like extra detail to it where it was like only like version 1.35 of the game.
It was like the very initial ship out.
And so there were just very few carts that even had it, but it was like a self-correction too. It was just Nintendo. They didn't get like in trouble.
Oh, that's right. No, it was a self-correction.
Yeah, Nintendo just has a weird thing where they're like no religion at all. I mean, I think it sounds fine. The version I played.
Oh, I mean, like if you listen to the music, it fits. I mean, it's fine. I don't think you would think anything of it.
No, yeah, you'd have to know, I guess. But yeah. So Steven starts chanting in Farsi. No, but so.
It's okay.
Hello. No, girl. Sorry, my dog is a little amped up right now.
And you know what? And we agree.
But so Steven gets pretty much all the way to the end of this one, and then I think it's like the very last challenge he actually fails.
He makes it through the little
fire plume
firewall. He directly steps over one too, which pisses me off. Like,
he does not time it at all. Like Steven is not trying the way that me as an adult gamer would be nailing this puzzle.
My God, I'd be a fucking champion.
I wouldn't even freaking need that bitch Navi. No, I'm kidding. I like Navi. She's fine.
Yeah, hot take. I enjoy it.
I think people hate Navi because they were like 9 when they played the game and they just kept failing. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just get good.
Also, I like that she speaks English.
And then I enjoy in Majora's Mask because they're like, all right, you don't like Navi? We'll give you just an asshole version of Navi with Daddle.
We're going to kill Navi.
So, yeah, he gets to the very end and like a giant spike trap is coming down from the ceiling and would have crushed him. He would have died.
He would have died there,
absolutely. All he did was curl up into a ball. He has a shield. He could have just made it.
It is kind of upsetting that he doesn't pop the shield out here or doesn't reflectively bubble or something.
I mean, so like they make a point in this episode to show that, he wouldn't have been ready for a real challenge, but the gems were...
Well, he wouldn't be ready for this challenge.
This specific one, yeah.
Which I'm going to argue for Steven at the end.
Please do.
I think that it's kind of like... You're giving him a challenge that like he can't necessarily succeed at. That's also not like realistic.
You're giving him an obstacle course challenge when a lot of the gem missions involve...
punching a thing.
Well, yes.
There are some. I mean, they do some temple excavation-y stuff.
Maybe I guess you could say you're not playing to Steven's strengths as a addition to the gems. I mean, he doesn't necessarily need to fight right now, but he's great at support and great at thinking
motivation.
Motivation and thinking creatively.
Yeah, he's very smart. So this is when he has that moment where he's like, really, like, was it all fake? And I really love how he
goes through
every single challenge, and we see how it would have like protected him essentially, like like the fire kind of curves around him. Some of them are just completely not real at all. Like,
I mean the pendulums,
they're not or what do you call it? They're
physical. They're
what's the word? Not inanimate, but oh my gosh, there's a word for this. They're not
solid,
corporeal.
They're
not corporeal. But so and this is the part that I love so much. He ends up going out of the test by going through Amethyst's mouth, which this feels like something you'd read on like a forum. Like, you have to go through Amethyst's mouth
in order to
get to the secret dev room.
Okay, so just to bring it back, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. If you go into the Chow Garden,
okay,
the regular Chow Garden, not the Heaven one and not the Hell one.
I didn't even know there was that.
Jimmy, it's very important.
I've heard of Chow's, but
there's like they have a pond area, and then next to the pond area, there's some stepping stone rocks. If you find the corner of the rocks and the wall as Sonic and you jump attack a couple of times, you will actually boundary break and leave the Chow Garden just like Steven does, and you see the whole thing as a giant cylinder.
I love
and
it
you can
so
like
much.
move around and go into a different part of it. So I love that kind of shit. I love boundary breaking games. Like,
it is like such a very specific, and I really wonder if kids nowadays, just the way that they interact with games is like, in my opinion, different. But like, I too remember like playing Simpsons Hit and Run and putting the cheats on and doing all the boundary breaking stuff too. Like, there, you just feel like a little explorer. So I love that. Like, it's a very nostalgic feeling when Steven goes through
and like seeing what the devs kind of like hit. Like, if you you can boundary break in Skyrim, like for the DLC for Solstheim, and basically just run all around like the Red Mountain and everything. And Anyway, highly recommend a YouTube channel, Boundary Break.
Really, really cool.
This guy does a lot of great stuff.
One last thing I want to say too, in The Amazing Digital Circus, which is a internet cartoon I love very much. I think it's episode 2. They do a whole thing where the characters basically go into a debug room, and I actually have them right there.
Yeah, and it's that guy, the Crocodile Bombadil.
Gummy Goo. He's not Crocodile Bombadil.
Tongue, sir.
But I really love, I just love that. It's such a nostalgic. I wonder if it really is sort of a weird millennialism, but
so escaping the bounds.
Yeah, and the thing I love too so much is that the way that a video game would have essentially gate triggers where you would walk in a certain place and then it triggers something to happen.
Yeah,
that happens to Pearl's pendulums, and
it's
even though Steven is above the map now,
it's just a really neat way to showcase it.
Yeah,
and just a cool nod to game designing.
Then we get the big reveal. Garnet is gay.
You wouldn't believe.
Garnet spreading full cheek.
Full cheek. The whole episode, actually. No, Steven's walking above the entire chambers to go confront the gems because he's, rightfully pissed off.
I love how he walks too. He's very upset.
Yeah, very indignant about the whole situation because it was supposed to be a real test for him, and it's embarrassing. I mean, he makes a point to blush and get flustered with embarrassment, realizing that it's all fake and he couldn't lose. But then he gets to the very edge and hears the gems talking, and they're wondering why it's taking him so long. And Amethyst has a weird kind of almost not out of character, but a moment of vulnerability where she's like, we suck at this.
Yeah.
We have no idea how to handle Steven. And the gems kind of talk about their insecurities because Rose Quartz isn't there to guide them. Steven's like nothing that has ever existed before. They don't know what he needs.
Pearl makes the point that she's almost theory crafting that Steven's abilities are tied to his self-confidence. And
she's basically completely right. I mean, as we see later in the series,
and so she's identifying, and that's why it's this real cold comfort, because she's kind of right here. She's right that Steven does need that
a win.
Affirmation. He needs the confidence, but to give it to him in this way,
this false,
very safe. Yeah, it's a false way to give someone confidence. It's ultimately bad for Steven. And that's what I think is neat is Steven's kind of he changes at the very end. Steven is
it looks like he's going to confront them angrily.
Yeah, so
even after hearing that.
Determined, just walks through all the shit, doesn't even try to do it, makes it to the end. We get another Evangelion reference here. The clapping, congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Also, this one, I don't think it's ever played anywhere else, but this one version of the theme song, the We Are Crystal Gems on piano, I love this version so much.
Yeah.
It is so cute, and it's very over-flourished, but it's I love it so much. I've listened to this scene so many times because I just love that.
It's weird. It's so kind of weird just to get it as a one-off, but
yeah, I literally don't think it's used anywhere else, but we get a funny Evangelion reference, and then Steven walks up and
gets on his knees,
prostrates in front of them, and then he
fakes enjoyment from it, fakes being appreciative, and is telling them how challenging it was, but how awesome he was in it. And
going through each one, trying to really boost their egos in a way, because that's ultimately what's happening.
Yeah, he's trying to make them feel better about, was this the right thing for Steven? It's the equivalent of eating a meal and being oh, this is delicious. I love this so much. Thank you. But then at the end, he kind of, he was really overplaying it, but then he calms down and is thank you guys so much for doing this for me. This is exactly what I needed. It's what the gems wanted to hear for sure.
Yeah.
And, it's Steven being very sweet and caring to them, but at the expense of himself. And,
classic people pleaser moment.
This is exactly that. It's people pleasing. I don't care. This isn't what I need, but it's what they need. So I'm going to just shove this down mentally.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is kind of where you get into the meat of the episode and what this episode's about, being, Steven cares so much for others at the expense of himself and his own well-being. And we really see that, in Steven Universe Future.
Yeah.
But this is kind of one of those critical moments that...
So he can't even address his biggest concern. His biggest concern is that he feels like people around him don't respect him.
Yeah.
But he's pushing that feeling down so that he cannot hurt their feelings to keep them happy, because... And that's like that moment where he overhears them is like, that's like hearing your parents talk. And like when you're a kid and you hear your parents talk, overhear them, and it's like a different side of them. It's just like a very like he growing up too fast kind of moment. And we like Steven has definitely not had a good childhood in terms of getting like acclimated to the world normally.
Yeah, I mean, up until this series starts, really, his childhood is just chaos. I mean, Greg is no real help.
It's almost like a perpetual childhood too.
Yeah, well, and I mean, we'll see that in a later episode where they talk about his birthdays and like how he just stopped growing because he emotionally stopped growing and he stopped maturing. Like, he was just being...
It's like Connie's like 40. He's like, Connie, I got my first pube.
Connie, you won't believe it. Come look.
And then she's just like, Steven, I don't want to be around you anymore.
Steven, I am a doctor now. I
have a son that's your age.
Oh, now it's
Connie, let's fuse.
Could I fuse with your son? No, it's this is a really important character moment, but it's. I don't know.
I relate to it so much. It makes me so
It's so
upset.
Relatable. You hate that mentality of everybody like giving false accolades, and I know it's like if you're playing a game with somebody and they're not trying and you win, is it even fun? Because it's like, you want to beat somebody at your best and their best, or you want to be actually challenged by a real thing with stakes, like.
Have you watched Pluribus yet?
No, I have not.
God damn it. I really want to talk about that. Never mind. I'll file it away. But no, you're
just shove that mentally down. Yeah. Just like Steven.
But yeah, it's just, it's really, I don't know. I think this is a really well written episode. It makes me feel really sad.
It says a lot with a little.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's really the last 2 minutes of the episode that have everything kind of come into play. We will see some real far-reaching repercussions of this for sure, but
poor Steven.
It's a shame because the gems mean well too. They're
it's like babies raising babies. Like they're just confused. They don't know. They're just faking it till they make it. A lot here. I think it's really good. It's just like I feel like I'm just getting like the appetizer. You know what I mean? Like I want to dive in deep.
Yeah, this really kind of sets the stage for latter episodes, but this episode didn't have a ton. It's
setting
that.
up. Yeah, it's really setting up stuff. So,
good, important episode.
Really like the test. Definitely, I would say this is probably a top 10er for me right now.
I don't know. It's probably up there for me. I definitely not a top 5, but I think it's a great episode to showcase Steven's changes throughout the series. And just how he's growing as a person.
Oh, I had one last thought. So this isn't one point towards Jesus Christ, Stephen Jesus Christ.
Stephen Christ, yeah.
Stephen Christ. So this is Stephen like taking on
the sins
of the gems. Like he's taking on like their pain and smiling and just absorbing it himself.
Bearing it, yeah.
Yeah, so
he's their shield. I mean, it's
this is one the Jesusification of Stephen is happening right in front of our very eyes.
Just wait until we get into the mom stuff. Oh. But overall, nice episode. Not too much more to say about it past now that we have finished this episode ourselves, I am gonna watch that full video.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. And thank you for the recommendation, and we appreciate your guys' comments too. So comment how smelly Jimmy is and say smelly pu, get away.
Tell me all your favorite Jesus moments that Stephen took place in.
all the biblical references that Stephen was actually in the background for the whole time. All right, Jimmy, give us an outro.
There's a lot less Stephen Jesus fan art than I expected.
And that is it. Bye.